Hey everyone, my name is Raven, the creatrix behind Lightbringer Rituals, and welcome. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and welcome to why. I have recorded several videos that I have yet to edit and yet to release about things that I want to talk about. I want to jump in immediately and talk about, the things that I want to share. I want to share a lot of things about witchcraft, about my practice with witchcraft, about a lot of it. But I never push publish on any of them. And I think the main thing is that I needed to have this. I wanted to do my introduction video to what this channel is going to be, what my curriculum is going to be, kind of who I am, to introduce myself and to introduce kind of what I walk with. And I wanted to do it in a very me way, which is just to sit here and chat with you. So where to even start? I'll start with a little bit about myself. Hello, my name is Raven. I have held the wonderfulness and ever-changing business that is Lightbringer Rituals for about 2 years now. It is my baby. It is what you probably know me as on Instagram. What it originally started as was, it actually started as an apothecary because that's what I wanted to do. It then changed into tarot, and then it changed into a business consulting, and then it's changed into this internet personality where I write, and then it changed back into tarot, and it's done all of these beautiful things because I've done all of these beautiful things. It is me, I am it, and we're on this wonderful journey together. But above all, the reason Lightbringer exists and the reason that I use that moniker kind of going forward in the witchcraft world, and no matter what it is that I do, is because I am a teacher. I always have been. I have always been the kind of person that when I learn something, I get more pleasure sharing it with other people than I do doing it for other people. And so I've known this for quite some time, but it's a really scary thing to hold. It's a really scary thing to understand. And it's a really scary thing to create. But I'm at this point now where I'm ready. I'm ready to kind of move forward. I'm ready to create content. I'm ready to talk about the things that I've learned about. My history with witchcraft goes back to about 2013. When I had a bunch of successive kind of gate openings happen where I was introduced to someone who taught a teaching coven and was invited to be a part of it. Kind of from that moment on, I have been neck deep in what I consider kind of a PhD in witchcraft. My words. If I could actually do it, I probably would, but I don't know if I want any more student loan debt, let's be honest. But more or less, I've jumped in from that point. I read anything possible. I'm an academic by trade. I went to graduate school for sociology. And I take that approach to witchcraft as well. I love reading everything possible about it. I love going back and reading Witch 101 books, tarot, numerology, kind of anything, any path really, because I want to know about what I'm a part of. There's something really beautiful about identifying as a witch, and also something really tragic because it is a history and a title that has been not only prejudiced against, but also destroyed. So I do have that kind of historian caretaker self to me as well. But that is kind of where my background is. I have studied tarot since pretty close to that, so probably 2014. I've read tarot for people, I've taught tarot. I was an assistant for that same teaching coven. I'm no longer a part of it now, but I'm ready, I'm here. Above anything, this is not necessarily a credentialed path, and I share this information because I feel like everyone should know who their teachers are. And so I want my cards on the table. But of anything, what I am is curious. I am a curious person who will research and investigate and challenge anything, and I think that's what brings me to this place. I want this channel and this conversation that continues to always be one of questioning, whether it's like you even questioning what I'm saying. I want it to be this place where we investigate and we talk about the things that are not normally talked about. And that's really at essence what Lightbringer is and what Lightbringer Rituals is and who I am. So that's kind of my little background. I also kind of non-magically, my background is in academia. As I said, I did study sociology, and my background is in studying video games. Kind of my background is sociology and geography. So it's about like the culture of place is what I love to study, and I love to study that in video games as well. You'll see me plug frequently, probably, that I also stream on Twitch under the name Edgar Allan Poe. And on that stream, I play witchcraft related video games, and I talk about them, and I talk about the lore and the mythology behind it, because once again, I love studying the culture of place, and that also includes video games. I also talk about them because video games specifically have been a gate opener for me in my spiritual path, because they are a language that I speak fluently. So, you know, you'll hear more about that as we go on, but just know that's something that you might be signing up for when you're on here. I don't think that there is a separation between what is sacred and what is mundane. I think that art, if anything, brings us into spirituality, and I think video games are art too. So that's another thing you'll hear about me. I call myself a nerd witch a lot, so I like to blend those worlds together. Another main aspect of what I do and what gets kind of fed into everything that I do is that I am earth sign magic. I am a Taurus sun, I'm a Sagittarius moon, and a Scorpio rising. So that'll tell you a lot about me. I am a dedicant of Hades and Odin, and I also work with Persephone as well. And I walk what I call a shadow path. One of the biggest tenets of what I teach, and in the classes that I've taught previously about walking the shadow path, is that witchcraft should be about agency above all. So a huge component of what I teach and what I talk about ad nauseum is about context. It's about judgment calls. It's about, you know, the grayness of life, and that you cannot separate things into light and to darkness. And so that is something that you'll hear a lot on this channel. It's actually one of the things that makes me want to start a channel like this, an education space like this, because I think it's something that's not talked about in witchcraft. So let's move into that. Why start this channel? Why put more content out in the world when we have enough of it? And I think it's because conversations are not happening in the witchcraft world. I think because it's kind of this trendy thing right now. I think because there is a ton of appropriation. I think because we are where we are in society right now. There are a lot of things that are going unchecked in the witchcraft world. The path that we've walked from in terms of coming from Wicca or coming from different paths, I think there needs to be a check and balance kind of system. And I think there are conversations that need to happen. I think there are spaces that are non-inclusive in the witchcraft world, and that I think is something that needs to be talked about. So for example, like the use of dark magic, or the use of dark witchcraft, or the use of black magic as a word. All of these are based in racism, but we don't question it on a regular basis. And what needs to be present is education about that. And that's what I'm incredibly passionate about. I'm also incredibly passionate about shadow work. I'm incredibly passionate about how, you know, this culture of love and light and the culture of, you know, manifestation magic is harmful, especially to those of us who are dealing with mental illness, who are sadly not appreciated by capitalism in any way, about those of us who are fighting a battle every single day because of how we look or who we love or how we function in the world. I think there are huge components of people who are not seen by the witchcraft world, but who should be seen by the witchcraft world. And really that's it. I just want to be here to help people process the feelings and process the thoughts that they have in other witchcraft spaces that make them feel not good enough, that make them feel too small or too big, honestly, or make them feel as if they aren't doing it right because they have dark thoughts or they have thoughts of, you know, not happiness all the time. I want to offer a space for people to question the doctrines they've been given. And so there is going to be critical analysis on this channel. There are going to be some things that'll challenge you, and I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I love discussion. I love doing that. I am so excited to get this started. I am so excited to come to you every week. Twice a week is my plan for right now, to kind of push through a bunch of content so that way you can have a place to start that is inclusive, that critically thinks about witchcraft and about the books and information that we put out. And that creates a safe space for you when you do not have a safe space outside of this. So on that note, I really can't wait to get started. I really can't wait to offer more information to you. If you're wanting to start the conversation with me, definitely subscribe to this channel. So much to come. I am also on Instagram at Lightbringer Rituals, and you can also find me on Twitch at Edgar Allan Pone. If you need to know how to spell that, it's gonna be down below. But I really can't wait to start this conversation with you. I hope you have a lovely day wherever it is you are, and I will see you next time.